Howdy, crewman. It's me. Back at it again with your daily dabble. But before I get into the meat, the nitty-gritty, well, it's not really meat, and it's not really too gritty. It's from Reddit. That's right, I'm trolling Reddit, okay? Look, I tried to go through the news. I tried to go through the local news, okay? It was all so depressing, okay? It was like full of robbery and more robbery and more robbery. There were a lot. There were a lot of robberies. Like a lot. But before I get into the little bit that I found interesting, you know what I gotta do. The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of me, the host, and my editor, Dexter D. Doge, and do not reflect the views and opinions of associated brands or figures, or ninjas, or magical girls. Oh, and some content, if not all of it, and most of my commentary, more than likely, may in fact be a bit much for sensitive listeners. So anyway, like I said, guys, I tried to get you some news, I really did, and I really just couldn't find a bright, shiny spot that I thought was worth going through. So I turned to my second resource, Reddit. This first one actually comes from Macon's Reddit. That's right, there's an r/Macon if you can believe it. I hardly could believe it myself. Who knew? Who knew that a little town, just an hour and 20 minutes south of Little 5 Points, as some guy put it, actually has its own little slice of r/heaven. And right out the gate, we've got this lovely little story. What generally happens to stolen bikes in Macon? Look, when I said this was among the most positive thing I could find related to the city today, I really was not kidding. So anyway, what generally happens to stolen bikes in Macon? Somebody smashed my van and window downtown last night and stole my bike and my tools out of the van. I've already done my due diligence and can mentally let go of the tools, but the bike was new and I want to search for it. Where do people generally fence stolen bikes in Macon? I'm currently looking at the obvious answer, pawn shops, but I'm wondering if anyone can provide more insight into this booming bike theft industry that we seem to have here. Well, to quote a certain ninja, not much you can do, I'm afraid. Yeah, here's the thing, man. Broke your window out just to get the bike. Probably rode off with it and the tools. I hate to break it to you. If you haven't found it at a pawn shop, you might find it, I don't know, flea market. That might be your best bet. But at the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there to you. Probably need to start following this basic philosophy. Since you're obviously not used to towns like this, impoverished towns, and people who get a hair of desperation, you might want to not leave valuable things right out in the open in your vehicle. A bit of self-preservation kind of comes to mind here. I know what you're thinking. I shouldn't have to do that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Look, what you did was the equivalent of leaving a ham sandwich out and expecting no one to eat it. Alright? What you did was the equivalent of leaving, $50 sitting on your car seat and expecting nobody to wrap a t-shirt around their fist and go for it. Look, man, you need to store stuff like that inside take your bike, struggle with it up them damn stairs, get it in your apartment, okay? Your toolbox, that needs to go with you too. Unless your vehicle has tinted windows and nobody saw you put it in there, that needs to go inside. Anything of value that is in your vehicle, unfortunately, when you live here, just might be a bit up for grabs, especially if you're one of those people who lives downtown, because the moment that those bars close and everything, it's kind of, man, it's the Wild Wild West, okay? It's open grabs, man. It's open smash and grabs, all right? It's I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, to allude to what we've got coming up later. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it seems like a little bit of forethought would have saved you some trouble. Now, yeah, you could, file a police report and all that stuff, but I hate to tell you, Bib's finest, they're more than likely to get more annoyed with you than they are to get something done for you. And if you catch somebody riding your bike, well, you can always ask them to give it back, but that's probably not going to happen. More than likely, though, they did sell it, but they probably did not sell it to one of the pawn shops. And if they did, you're still going to have to buy it back. That's the unfortunate part here. The only way you're probably going to get it back is by spending more money. The only way you're going to get your tools back? Spending more money. Unless they're using those tools for themselves right now. You might just be dealing with a bit of a lost cause here, my friend, and I'm sorry to tell you that. But, hey, you live and you learn. And today you learned that if it's valuable enough for you to post about it on the internet when it's gone, it's probably valuable enough for you to struggle to get it into your house so you know that it's safer. Our next two stories come from r/AmITheAsshole. No, Dexter, I'm not asking if I'm an asshole. I know that. I'm very aware of that, okay? All right? I'm a kind man, not a nice man. I'm very aware of that, but thank you. I appreciate your concern. I'm not self-deprecating, I swear. But anywho, this Reddit is usually a bit of a laugh riot, and it's a place where people get to do what they love to do most on the internet. Judge other people. That's what we're going to do a bit of today, crewman. So, here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that it's weird that she says, I love you to her brother? 26-year-old male. Girlfriend is 24 years old. Girlfriend's little brother? 19. So for those of you that helped raise your siblings, with a 5-year age gap and whatnot, I think this one's gonna get under your skin really easy. My girlfriend has a brother who goes to college only about an hour from where we live. He sometimes visits my girlfriend, and whenever he leaves from the visit, my girlfriend says that she loves him. And he usually returns a thumbs up, which is kind of funny. But I think it shows he's a bit weirded out as well by her saying she loves him. I understand saying I love you to your parents or kids, but it feels weird to say it to a sibling. Since while I do love my brother, never in a million years would I say that to him. I told my girlfriend this, and she seemed kind of weirded out by what I said. She said that there was no problem with what she says, and that I was the one being weird. You love using the word weird, my guy. Like you use just weird. Everything's weird. Yeah, I'm weird. My girlfriend was weird. It was weird that she said that to him. I think that was weird. I'm weird. She's weird. They're weird. Little brother's weird. Look, man, the only thing weird about this entire situation... Man, that's kind of a fun word to say. I need to stop. The only thing weird, last time, about this conversation, okay, about this subject, all right, is the fact that you seem to feel a bit insecure about your girlfriend telling another guy that she loves him, even though it's her brother. Look, man, when a sibling is like 5 years older, when a sibling is like 2 years older, oftentimes they are gonna wind up looking out for their younger sibling, all right? Especially, unfortunately, when they're a girl, they tend to end up having to babysit and look after their little brothers and stuff a lot. Like a lot. Alright? She's probably cooked him SpaghettiOs and everything and done that the majority of their lives, alright? When the parents were out getting dinner or coming home from work, she was probably the first face he sees when he gets off the bus and comes home from elementary school or whatever, you know what I mean? And for all you know, when they were in the same school, but 5 grades apart, probably walked to the bus together. She probably walked him to class. You don't know. But clearly they're a bit closer than you are with your own sibling. Look, man, don't take your insecurities out on her. The fact that you can't tell your brother that you love him, that's weird, alright? Look, I'm a dude who has no biological siblings. Legitimate ones, anyway. I'm a guy that believes in found family, as my crew well knows. And you know what? I will tell every single one of my crewmen, whether they be male, female, NB, trans, whatever, that I love them, alright? Because there's nothing weird about sharing your emotions with those that are close to you. It's called bonding. It's called sharing. It's called showing basic affection, alright? You know, when you're able to tell someone how you feel about them, they're not left guessing. They're not left wondering. Yeah, he returns a thumbs up. That's probably just how they are. She probably always grew up smothering him a little bit. Who are you to make any assumptions about that? You didn't say that you talked to him about it. You didn't say that you asked him if he feels weird about it. No, you immediately went after your girlfriend and told her she was a weirdo for saying that she loves her brother. My God, guy. Look, the first day that you ever deal with like a girlfriend, like a female friend, like a platonic friend saying that she loves you, that's gonna fuck your world up, okay? That is gonna ruin you. You're not gonna know what to do with that. Because you seem to be one of those weird dudes that, see, now I'm doing it. See? Dudes like you rub off on people. You seem to be one of those guys, man, that just doesn't know that love comes in more forms than I love my mommy and daddy, I love my wife, and I love my kids. Dude, love comes in all kinds of forms. Okay? The fact that you can't show fraternal love for your brother vocally, like the fact that you say you feel it for him, but you can't say it to him, is kind of sad and very telling. If anything, man, you need to get that checked. Try to vocalize love for people that you're not sticking your dick in. Try to vocalize love for people who aren't just like your parents. I noticed that you specifically said parents and kids. You know, you didn't mention like grandparents. Do you not tell your grandparents you love them? Do you think that's weird? How about aunts and uncles? Is that weird too? Your dog? Is it weird for you to say you love your dog? You see how dumb that sounds? I mean, I get that oftentimes we as men are shaped to be unnecessarily stoic and reserved with our emotions, which, hey, I struggle with that sometimes too, alright? But it's not a lifestyle that leads to nice, long, healthy, loving relationships, okay? You can't go around being afraid to vocalize your love for people. Because you, in doing that, can lead people to not know where they stand with you. You can leave people afraid to open up to you. You know, now that you've done that, you know, your girl might be afraid to be more affectionate towards you. Yo, this dude thinks it's weird for me to say that I love my brother. I mean, what else is he going to be weird about when it comes to affection? Are you going to get fucking cringy when she hugs her dad? Are you going to wince when she fucking pets her hamster or something? Dude, like, what? It really seems like the problem here is you. And, to use your favorite word, you're the weirdo here. Matter of fact, you're the asshole. Our next and last story, once again, from the Am I the Asshole Reddit. Am I the asshole for leaving a $0 tip at a restaurant? I kind of don't even want to read the rest of this one. Yes. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, you are. I mean, like, maybe I'm making assumptions, crewman. I probably am making assumptions. Let me just get to it, okay? My bad. All right. This is a 33-year-old gentleman and his 34-year-old wife. So my wife forgets her ID, and I order a drink at a restaurant we frequent often. Obviously, they wouldn't serve my wife a drink because she couldn't present an ID. We could be considered regulars with how often we are there. Regularly spend $150 to $200 a night, and we tip 20 to 30%. The people working tonight are not the regular staff. Dude, how regular are you? Like, how much of a regular are you and your wife if everyone on staff ain't the regular staff and you've never seen them before? Anyway. My wife has maybe 3 discrete sips of my drink, not in front of the server. And I want to order another drink. The server refuses to give me another drink. Kudos to them. Because he says we are sharing drinks and watching our table. Like we're little kids. Mind you, the whole time, he sets up people in the restaurant to police us and watch our table when he can't. Barely gives any service. Except when we're done with our food. I have no problem with them not serving my wife because yes, the law says no drinks if you don't have ID. But you deny me, a grown 33-year-old man with a wedding ring, on a second drink? Even if the liquor board is there, they check to make sure people who are drinking are ID'd. They're not going to make a fuss if someone has a sip, who is obviously over 21. Holy shit, you've never been told no a day in your life, have you, bud? That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. None of your business what happens at our table. Literally is. They're your server. It is actually like 100%. It is literally his job. It is literally, your table is 100% his business. Like what? You're not top flight security. Left a $0 tip. Am I the... Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, you're the asshole. You are the epitome of peak entitled assholery. All right? The fact that you sat there and went, man, even if inspectors were there, they just check if we had ID and it wouldn't be a big deal. No, dude, yeah, no. They check if you had ID and then they would look at you, the person who just gave somebody who doesn't have an ID, a sip of alcohol, a person who cannot prove that she is above the age of 21, okay? She's clearly an adult and she's clearly of consenting age, right? But there's no way for them to prove, short of looking at her, squinting real hard and going, yes. Crow's feet. Bitch is old. Do you really? Hold on, guy. Hold on, guy. Hold on, guy. Do you really want people looking at your wife and going, meh, yeah, she's old enough to drink. Here you go, Grandma. Do you really want that reaction? You'd think you would take this as some flattery. And for somebody who frequents the place so much, I think it's odd that you're like, oh, this wasn't the regular staff. It kind of felt like you were propping yourself up to feel more justified here. And as you mentioned, it is actually 100% the waiter's business what goes on at their tables. They're responsible for not just your service, okay, but they're also responsible for making sure that they serve their patrons correctly, not just by what the patron deems correct, but also what is in the restaurant's rules and within the law. For you to not tip them just because they follow the rules and then the restaurant, which, shout outs to whatever restaurant this was for having their wait staffs back like this, that everyone watched your table. The fact that somebody peeped you a few discreet sips, bro, my dick hole. If they were discreet sips, you wouldn't have been caught. Maybe it was your big ass wedding ring that got you caught there, fumbles. Point of the matter is, with all of your discretion, I know a ninja that could help you with that. You failed and got caught and had to deal with the repercussions of sipping on Wawa or a Coca-Cola for the rest of the night. You know, maybe, since you're so adamant about your marriage, you could have shown some solidarity with your wife and not had an alcoholic beverage that night. Maybe you could have done the really chivalrous thing. If she was jonesing for alcohol that bad, you could have done the super chivalrous thing, my guy. The real super duper chivalrous thing. And you could have went all the way the fuck home, got her ID, and drove your ass back while she sat there, munched on some breadsticks, and sipped on water until you got back. If it was that big of a deal. Or, and I'm just spitballing here. I mean, you guys could have also just gone on like your state's website and probably found her information that way. I mean, if you really care that much. Know what I mean? There were so many options you had. You didn't take any of them. You just thought, yeah, we'll just be sneaky. And you got caught. And you had to deal with the repercussions, asshole. Ah, man, crewman, nothing gets me hotter than entitlement. If I may, I'd like to share a little story revolving around entitlement. This actually happened at the 420 festival that we had down in Triangle. See, it was me and the Dex man, patrolling around the grounds, making sure that everyone was having a good time and things were organized, making sure that nobody was overstressing themselves. And lo and behold, this fine older woman, we'll call her Karen, all right? Now, Karen, I later found out, has a bit of a reputation for behaving the way she behaves. Now, Karen just walked up, and people do this to Dexter all the time. See, Karen just walks up, and then she's like, oh my god, what a cute dog. I'm sorry, I know he's working, but I just can't help myself. I look and I'm like, well, I'd like you to, please. I'd like you to help yourself. If you could not touch him. Ma'am, no, stop. Please, don't pet him, he's working. And I need him to focus. Oh, okay. And she walks away. Well, 2 beers later, and with her husband in tow, she comes back again, and then her husband walks by, doesn't say anything to my dog. And then she makes a big fuss. No, don't pet him. He's working. And I'm like, yeah, that's correct. Great job, Karen. Very good. And then I couldn't help myself. I'm like, do you do this a lot? Well, what do you mean? She says. I'm like, do you do this a lot? Do you pet people's dogs? You know, like, just impromptu? And she goes, oh yeah, all the time. You should see me with the TSA. I'm just terrible. And I'm like, whoa. You can't do that. They're working. And then immediately she puts on a pouty face and goes, no, they can't be working. I'm like, yeah, yes, they can be working. And I assure you, he's very happy to work. He loves having a job. But he's a dog and he needs to focus. And then she goes, no, they don't need jobs. I can't help myself. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, is it that you feel entitled to do that? And she looks at me and nods her head really firm. Yes, I do. I feel entitled to pet any dog that I meet. And I'm not kidding with you guys. This is literally what this lady says. She tells me she feels entitled to pet any dog, regardless if the dog is in a vest or anything. And I'm like, wow, I'm surprised you're not on a no-flight list then. To which she looks at me and goes, well, you're just acting crazy. And I'm like, well, no, I'm just acting like a guy who's trying to figure out why a stranger keeps shoving her hand in my dog's face. As much money as you seem to have, you're very affluent. I just watched you buy a big-ass painting, like, in cash, right? With all that money and status and all this fun stuff, you still feel entitled to someone else's things. You still feel entitled to my dog's attention. You couldn't just be like, well, there's a good boy doing his job. No, you just had to shove your hand in his face. What if he wasn't necessarily the sweet little black bean that he is? Okay, what if he really didn't like strangers' hands in his face? And what if he bit you? Then it would have been a whole big debacle. Would have been a whole big problem. Now, crewman, maybe I am the asshole for looking at her dead in the face and going, You're very entitled, aren't you? Because that did set her off. I'm telling you, she got very upset. Now, her husband seemed like a very nice guy, okay? He seemed like a nice dude. He also was very embarrassed, and he was hanging his head. I felt very bad for him. And this crewman, I will admit, I was definitely the asshole here. I looked at him while I was walking out, and she was calling me crazy. And I look over my shoulder, and I look at him, and I go, hey, buddy, you her husband? And he's holding his head. He just gives me a real somber nod. And I look at him, and I go, I'm so sorry you've got to deal with all that. And I look at her, and I go, you should probably lay off the booze a bit. You can't control yourself. And made my exit. Now, again, total asshole moment there. I know. All right, I felt bad. I felt mildly bad, but at the same time, I felt very, very gratified. It was empowering almost. You know? When you see somebody that has the ability to walk up, look at something, and go, wow, $600 painting, I'll take it. Wow, random dog, I'll pet it. And you go, no, not without a bit of strife. No, you don't. Not without a wee bit of struggle. No, you don't. Something empowering about getting somebody who blatantly looks you in the face and says, yes, I feel entitled to pet any animal I want. And you going, not this one. No. Dare I say it, I think more people need to be told no. More people need to be looked at and gone, no touchy. No. Look, sir, she doesn't have an ID. No drinky. Sorry. Well, I'm 33 years old. Yes, I'm very aware. You are 33 years old, sir, and you are incapable of following the rules. You have shown me that. Very impressive that you've made it this far in life. That you can dump $150, $200 on a meal and you still can't follow basic instructions. Yes, wow, quite impressive, sir. Mm-hmm. Good for you. Very good. Sometimes people need to be told no. And you know what? Damn it, crewman. I bestow that power upon you. I want you to take the next opportunity. The next opportunity someone acts entitled with you. With your time. With your possessions. With your personhood. Tell them no. The next time you have love for somebody, and you might feel a little awkward about expressing it, bite the bullet and say it. Even if it's just your friend. Hey, you know what, man? I tell C Wind I love him all the time. Dude's like a brother to me. One of our listeners and one of my closest crew folk and one of my oldest friends at this point, actually. JP, I say I love you to him all the time. She's my cousin. I tell her I love her all the time too, but you know, that's family. I guess that guy would also think that's kind of off though, huh? And you know what? While I'm over here dishing out permissions, I also give you the permission to not leave your valuables in your damn car and expect no one to take a fucking gambit at it because we live in Macon. And man, oh man, will they smash and grab if they see an opportunity. But, speaking of smashing and opportunities, you have a very rare one indeed. You get to smash that like button. You get to grab your place in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Are either of these people the asshole? Well, was the Karen in my story, was she an asshole? Was I an asshole? Probably. Sometimes. Anyway, regardless. I gotta hit it, crewman. It's time to do that maximum burn, donut out into the cosmos and do good. Do best, as I always try to strive to. But y'all take care of yourselves. And remember, you're not the asshole. If you're telling someone you love them, you're not the asshole. If you're setting up your boundaries. But if you're willing to overstep and mock the affections of someone else, you just might be. TTFN crewmen, lock up your valuables and take your bikes inside. I'll be with you tomorrow.